Donald Trump continues to hemorrhage support from his key constituents, and outgoing Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is leading the charge. Now the feud between the pair has hit a new fever pitch. Think the ball is dropping tonight? Well, it's dropping on that orange, possibly syphilitic blimp first. And for the record, I mean Trump. Green is not orange enough. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. And Happy New Year to you. I'm coming to you from Palm Springs today as my own holiday trek continues ahead of my big announcement later this week. Make sure to subscribe to stay in the know. Now then, on to our story. Marjorie Taylor Greene, once known as the cocaine bear of the Congress, entered her job as one of the most vile members on the Hill and one of Donald Trump's most ardent supporters. That, of course, has changed. Greene announced she would retire last month as she performed an apology tour of sorts, and she will leave Congress in the coming weeks. As part of her apology tour, in which she did try to atone for her past behavior, she came out against Donald Trump, attacking him for his obfuscating on the Jeffrey Epstein files, disregarding his campaign promises, and ignoring his voters. Trump, true to form, replied with a series of blistering social media attacks on Greene. And now that saga is going a step further. Earlier this week, the New York Times published an interview with Greene in which she revealed more of Trump's attacks and that he was trying to protect people exposed as clients in the Epstein files. Here's an overview.
Less than a week before Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene resigns from office, she's making new allegations in her fallout with President Trump over the Epstein files. In a New York Times interview, Greene says Trump privately told her, quote, "My friends will get hurt if alleged abusers connected to Epstein were exposed." In a statement, the White House says, quote, "Congresswoman Greene is quitting on her constituents in the middle of her term and abandoning the consequential fight we're in. We don't have time for her petty bitterness." So for more on all this, I want to bring in our Capitol Hill correspondent, Jay O'Brien. And Jay, this New York Times piece, it's pretty meaty, 18 pages here. But what are we learning more on this alleged conversation between the president and the Congresswoman?
So this is a phone call, Alex, that Marjorie Taylor Greene has talked about before. It comes when Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of that handful of House Republicans who were defying President Trump and signing on to legislation to force the release of the so-called Jeffrey Epstein files the Department of Justice has. This is legislation that ultimately passed, remember, the House and the Senate. And after President Trump first opposed it, he ultimately signed it into law.
Maybe you already saw it coming, but yes, it does get worse and more embarrassing for Trump and Greene. Stick around. The interview with Greene isn't sitting well in MAGA world, which is already splintering into some warring factions. For more on that mess, check out our other videos here on the channel. Amid those divisions, rage continues to build at Trump himself. He is, after all, the undisputed leader of MAGA and Trumpism, hence the name. And amid the ongoing scandal over daycare centers in Minnesota, a scandal which looks largely to have been manufactured and mischaracterized, again, see our other videos. With the scandal as a backdrop, Marjorie Taylor Greene just posted a wackadoo anti-Trump rant to social media. It originated with podcaster Andy Frasilia, a self-proclaimed Trump enthusiast. Well, he's enthusiastic all right, but not for any reason Trump would want him to be. Take a look, and apologies in advance for the language.
We are being lied to. And not only are we being lied to, we're being exploited at the highest degree. And then on top of it, we're being replaced with the dollars that we work our fucking asses off to produce for our families. They are taking those dollars, they are bringing in people that fucking hate us, and then they are paying them to be here. And if that doesn't piss you the fuck off, dude, I don't know what will. Because I'm going to tell you this, dude, I've worked my fucking ass off for damn near 30 motherfucking years trying to create jobs and careers and build income and wealth and done all this shit. And these motherfuckers are opening up a daycare and getting 10 million fucking dollars. This is fucking insane, dude. And
with no kids.
If this isn't the breaking point for everybody to stand the fuck up and say enough, then our country is fucking doomed. Period. Okay? Donald Trump needs to feel all the fucking smoke over this. All of it. Okay? He needs to feel all of it over Israel. He needs to understand that he is violating the promises that he has made to the American people. Okay? I've always been a guy that has given that man tons and tons and tons of benefit of the doubt. But at this point in time, that shit is fucking over. And every single motherfucker that ever voted for him or stood with him needs to let him fucking know. He needs to let him hear it. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't do something about this, and he doesn't start arresting motherfuckers, and he doesn't hold people accountable for the Epstein shit, and for this shit, and for all the fraud, and all the raping that's been going on the American taxpayer for fucking decades, he will go down, and not as the best president, he will go down literally as the man who had the opportunity to save this country and chose not to.
You know how I always say Harry Enten needs to switch to decaf? I would suggest the same for Andy Frasilia. Of course, in this case, I would suggest a lot more, but never mind. The fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene endorsed Frasilia's rant is telling. And yes, it is a warning to Trump, whose approval ratings aren't so much in the tank as they are somewhere in a volcanic underwater trench. And this, folks, is a sign of things to come. Trump may think he's in charge, but if he's not going to even bother trying to do his job, see how far that gets him. And with the midterms rapidly approaching, watch for vulnerable Republicans in Congress to do a full turnabout and face the question: if Trump can't or is unwilling to do his job, how do we get him out of the way? Remove the orange tumor, folks. This is Occupy Democrats.